Good morning students. In this video I'll tell you how to represent the rational numbers on the number line. We all know about the number line. See, this is a number line. On the right hand side of 0 there are positive integers, and on the left hand side of 0 there are negative integers. It is easy to plot integers on a number line. However, what about the numbers like 3 upon 4? Before we understand how to plot this, we need to understand a very crucial point, that every integer except 0. Every integer except 0 has a corresponding number. For example, the integer 1 has minus 1 as its corresponding integer, and the integer 2 has minus 2 as its corresponding integer. Similarly, every negative integer has a corresponding positive integer. For example, minus 1 has 1 and minus 2 has 2 as its corresponding integer. This tells us that if somehow we are able to plot 3 upon 4 on the number line, we can easily plot minus 3 upon 4 at the same distance on the left hand side of 0. Now let's move on to represent rational numbers on a number line. To simplify things, we can classify the example into two types or two categories. The first category is wherein the numerator is smaller than the denominator. For example, 1 upon 4, 3 upon 4, 2 upon 5, etc. You can clearly see here that the numerator 1 is smaller than the denominator 4. 3 is smaller than 4, and here 2, the numerator, is smaller than the denominator 5. The second category is wherein the numerator is greater than the denominator. For example, 7 upon 4, 9 upon 5. See, 7, the numerator is greater than the denominator 4, and here the numerator 9 is greater than the denominator 5. In the next video, I'll be telling you about the examples of the first category wherein the numerator will be smaller than the denominator. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning students. In this video, I'll tell you how to plot the rational numbers having smaller numerator and bigger denominator on the number line. Let's try to plot 1 upon 2 and minus 2 on the number line. First, we'll try to plot 1 upon 2 on the number line. You can see here that the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Whenever the numerator is smaller than the denominator, the number always lies between 0 and 1. Now, for example, this 6 upon 97, 5 upon 99, all these rational numbers will lie between 0 and 1. Now, we'll draw a number line. As we know that this rational number lies between 0 and 1, so the number line that we are drawing should show at least 0 and 1. That what I mean to say is, it is not necessary that we'll draw all the numbers, but at least the number wherein it will lie, it should be visible. So 0 and 1 should be visible on the number line at least. Now what we'll do is, we will divide this length between 0 and 1 into equal parts. But how many equal parts? This will be indicated by the denominator. We can see the denominator over here is 2, so we will divide this into two equal parts. I'm drawing one line. I've drawn one line over here. This way it is divided into two equal parts. Now what does this numerator tell? This numerator tells us that the numerator tells us the paths away from 0. So it is 1, or the number of paths from 0. So this is 1. So from here we can see this is the first part away from 0. So we write 1 upon 2 over here. This way 1 upon 2 is represented on the number line. Now we'll plot minus 1 upon 2 on the number line. Again we'll use the same procedure. What we'll do is, we'll divide the length between 0 and minus 1 into equal parts. The denominator is 2, so we'll divide it into two equal parts, and the numerator is minus 1, so we'll count one part away from 0, so this is minus 1, and we can write over here minus 1 upon 2. This way minus 1 upon 2 is also plotted on the number line. Now this minus 1 upon 2 is corresponding to 1 upon 2. So every negative rational number also has a corresponding number. Now let us move on to the another example. Here we'll plot 3 upon 4 and minus 3 upon 4 on the number line. Let's plot 3 upon 4 on the number line first. Now we'll use the same procedure. We'll draw a number line, and as the numerator is small and the denominator is bigger, that means this will also lie between 0 and 1. So this is 0 and this is 1, and we'll divide this length between 0 and 1 into equal parts, that is into 4 equal parts, as the denominator is 4. So I've drawn 1, 2, 3 lines to divide it into 4 equal parts. The numerator is 3, so from here we'll count 3, 1, 2 and 3. So this is 3 upon 4. This is the way how we'll plot 3 upon 4 on the number line. In the same way, we'll plot minus 3 upon 4 on the number line also. This length will be divided into 4 equal parts by drawing 3 lines. We'll again count 3 from here, 1, 2, 3. 3 parts over here, so minus 3 upon 4. Now this 1 upon 2, 2 upon 4. This, see how I've done. From here I've counted 1, so it will be 1 upon 4. From here 1, 2, 2 upon 4. Similarly this way also, minus 1 upon 4 and minus 2 upon 4. This is just for your understanding. You need not plot all the rational numbers on the number line. That is, whatever is being asked in the question, that number only you will plot on the number line. Now in the next video I'll be telling you about the second category, wherein the denominator is greater than the numerator. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning students. In this video I'll tell you how to plot the rational numbers which have greater numerator and smaller denominator. For example, the numbers like 8 upon 5, 9 upon 4, 3 upon 2. These numbers have greater numerator and smaller denominator. So let's try to plot 7 upon 4 and minus 7 upon 4 on the number line. This, you can see clearly over here that the numerator 7 is greater than the denominator 4. Here also the same thing. Let's start with 7 upon 4 first. Now before plotting these types of numbers wherein the numerator is greater and the denominator is smaller, the first thing that we need to do is to convert this into a mixed fraction. You might have studied it in your previous class, however I'll tell you about it again. Now what do we do to convert it into a mixed fraction is, we first divide this numerator by the denominator. So what are we getting? We are getting 1 as the quotient and 3 as the remainder, and this 4 is the divisor. Now 7 upon 4 in mixed fraction will be written like this. Quotient will come over here, remainder here, and divisor over here. So it is written like this: 1 whole 3 upon 4. This is a whole number 1, and this 3 upon 4 is a proper fraction. Now these three numbers tell us where this rational number will plot on the number line. This numerator 3, it tells us number of parts away from the whole number, that is from 1 over here. If it is 2, then number of parts away from 2. Whatever number is here, number of parts away from that number. Now this divisor, it tells us number of equal parts, and this whole number, it tells us between what two rational numbers, it will tell us between what two integers will this rational number lie. That is, it is 1 over here, that means this number will lie between 1 and 2. If it is 2 over here, suppose it would have been 2 whole 3 upon 4, then in that case this number would lie between 2 and 3. Why is it so? See, this is 1 whole 3 by 4, that means this number is greater than 1 but less than 2. So if it would have been 2 over here, then it would be greater than 2 but less than 3. Now in this case it is 1 whole 3 by 4, that means this number is greater than 1 but less than 2, so it will lie between 1 and 2. So this way we can directly say that if whatever number is here, this number will lie between this number and the next number. That is, if it is 3 over here, then 3 and 4. Okay, so here it is 1, that means this number will lie between 1 and 2. Now we'll draw a number line like this. This is 0, 1 and 2. Now this 4 tells us that this length between 1 and 2 should be divided into 4 equal parts. So I've divided it into 4 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this 3 by 4, this 3 tells us that number of parts away from 1. So I've counted 1, 2, 3. So we can write over here 1 whole 3 by 4. So this is 1 whole and this is 3 by 4. So this is the point. Similarly, for minus 7 upon 4, we will again divide it. This is the quotient, this is the remainder, and this is the divisor. So what we'll do again, it will come as it is minus 1 whole. So the number will lie between minus 1 and 2. So what we'll do is we'll divide minus the length between minus 1 and 2. We will divide this length into 4 equal parts, and then from 1 minus 1 we will count 3 equal parts. So it is 1, 2, 3. So this way we will get minus 1 whole 3 by 4. You can also see that this number minus 1 whole 3 by 4 has 1 whole 3 by 4 as its corresponding number. So this way the mixed fractions can be plotted on the number line. Thank you and have a nice day.